True holiness has a lot to do with the commands of God, the precepts of God, the wisdom of God, because we do not know properly how to love God except through what is written. But my dear friend, the only way we can be a holy people is to be a gospel people. I sometimes feel like I'm afraid to take a step one way or the other. I know I do not want the highway of the world. I know it's destruction and it's death. But sometimes I'm afraid to walk the highway of holiness. Why? There's an old preacher by the name of Conrad Merle who used to say this: to walk in falsehood is easy. You can walk 1,000 miles that way and 1,000 miles that way and be in falsehood. But to walk in the truth, to walk in holiness, is like walking on the edge of a razor blade, and you can fall off either side. Antinomianism on one side, and it is deadly, taking away from what God has said. And legalism on the other side is just as deadly, adding to what God has said. And I have found that the only way I can make it through this course is keeping my eyes fixed on Christ. Every command, every precept, every bit of wisdom given by the Scripture is interpreted to me and illustrated to me by Jesus Christ. To follow Christ. And when I follow Christ, I see a holiness as He walks toward Jerusalem, and I don't even want to interrupt His thoughts, for I'm afraid of Him. And yet I see Him bowing to pick up children, or allowing a filthy prostitute of a woman to touch Him. And I see only in Him the perfect example that holiness is manifested in love toward God and love toward everyone else. And He is not only holy in His holiness, but He's holy in His love. He's not just holy in His justice. He's holy in His mercy and His grace. The same grace that has caused Him to bear with a fool like me for over 30 years. I want to be holy, but I want to make sure I know what that means. I know the motivation for holiness. It is Christ. I know the example of holiness is Christ. I know the goal of all holiness is Christ. And Christ, as He is so greatly revealed in the gospel,